Go to www.paragonbilling.com. Click on Account Login. Enter your logon ID and password, and click Login. At the top of the page, you'll find the navigation tabs. You'll always start on the Calendar tab when you first log in. The primary components of the Calendar tab are the search bar, the practitioner drop-down menu, the month pane, and the day pane. The month pane shows every day with a scheduled appointment, reminder, or event. The time shown on any given day is the time of the first appointment for that day. The number in parentheses underneath that time show the number of appointments for that day. You can see on the 9th that there are 3 appointments scheduled for this day. You can navigate to the previous or the next month using these buttons at the top. If you need to jump to a date farther away, click on the calendar button and select the date. In the day pane, you'll find each appointment broken down by hour. To open appointment details, simply click on the patient's name or the status. Selecting the circle next to the appointment allows you to jump to notes. If the status of an appointment is listed as scheduled, it means that appointment is yet to happen. When the status of an appointment comes up as OK?, it means that the appointment has passed but is yet to be completed. That's further identified by the yellow circle under Notes. We can see here on the 3rd that this appointment is completed, but the notes have yet to be completed. When you find an appointment whose status is listed as OK?, you need to complete this appointment. Go ahead and click on the status. In the current appointment box, you need to verify the date, time, and duration of the appointment. If you change the time, the duration will also change with it. You will also need to check the procedure code. A 30-minute appointment is 90832, 45-minute appointment is 90834, and a 60-minute appointment is 90837. Because I changed the duration, I now need to select 90834. Finally, change the current status to completed. In the after appointment box, if any money was collected at the time of service, you need to enter the amount here and select the method of payment here. If it was a check, enter the check number here. Any additional charges for this appointment need to be listed here. Clicking in the first box will bring up a list of procedure codes you can select from. Selecting a procedure code will automatically fill in the cost of that procedure. If the client has another scheduled appointment, the information will show up here. Be sure to verify all the contact information with the client. If you need to make notes about this appointment, you can list them here in Appointment Notes. These notes are for the therapist only and are not seen by Paragon Billing. The Special Instructions to Paragon section are for notes that are specific to this date of service for this patient. If you enter notes in this section, it will trigger a manual review to Paragon to ensure that the special circumstances are met. When you're done editing, you can move to Save, Save and Print Receipt, or Save and Jump to Notes. If you are a clinic owner, an administrator, or a supervisor, you will have the ability to use the practitioner drop-down menu. To set up a new appointment, simply select the day, select the time the appointment will be for, enter in a client's name, or select from the list of clients. If it's a new client, you can add a client here. If you're booking a single appointment, check the date and time of service for accuracy, and click Save. Or you can choose to set up reoccurring appointments. You can also set up reoccurring events and reoccurring reminders here. Reoccurring events and reoccurring reminders are for provider use only. Click Add. On this page, you'll be able to enter the detailed information for a reoccurring appointment. When you're done editing, go ahead and click on Save. Now when you go back to calendar, you'll see that Francis Key has an appointment at 10 a.m. on every Thursday. If you need to search for a specific patient, use the search bar here. It's important to note that only supervisors, clinic owners, and administrators have the ability to search all practitioners. As you type, the list will narrow, and you can select from the drop-down menu here. Administrators, clinic owners, and supervisors also have the ability to use Clinic View here. In Clinic View, you'll be able to see all of the appointments for any practitioner on a given day. You can select the next day or previous day here. Next, we'll look at the Clients tab. Simply click on the Navigation tab at the top. Under the Clients tab, there are 4 sub-tabs: General Info, Insurance, Miscellaneous, and Attachments. You can choose to search for a client using the search bar, add a new client, or select a client from the list. To edit an existing client, simply click on the Edit button. When editing a client or adding a new client, be sure to fill in as much information as possible. If the client is transgender, use the gender that's listed on their birth certificate. When entering in a phone number, be sure to choose what type of phone number it is. The provider can send out reminder messages up to 24 hours in advance. To set up a reminder, click here and choose the phone. In the additional comments section, do not put any insurance information. This is for provider use only. You can also choose to delete the client by using this button here. Be careful because there's no warning and no undo. When you're done editing, click Save. Now we'll move on to the Insurance tab. You can verify the existing information by clicking on Verify here. If you want to enter new insurance information, do so in the bottom of the pane here. It's recommended that you have the insurance card with you when you enter new insurance information to ensure accuracy. When you've filled in all the provider information, go ahead and click Verify here. This will send the information to a clearinghouse. It will take a few minutes, but the clearinghouse will send back a list of all covered services. Lastly, click on Submit to Paragon. This will send the information to a senior biller. Next, we'll look at the Miscellaneous tab. Select any category that applies to the patient. You can choose to add a new item to the list by clicking on the plus sign here. Enter in all the information and click Submit. If you want to delete or edit an existing item, first select the item from the list, and then delete it using the trash can or edit it using the pencil. Next, we'll look at the Attachments tab. This section is for uploading images. It's recommended that you upload an image of the insurance card. Clicking on the Help button will take you to a page with detailed information on how to upload images. If you've not already done so, you need to go back to General Information and click Save. Next, we'll look at the Balance Due tab. You may search for a client using the search bar, or choose a client from the list. The right pane breaks down all charges by date of service. The only thing that really needs to be noted on this page is the status. If the date of service is listed as completed, it means that this service has been billed. If it's listed as OK ? This service has yet to be billed. Next, we'll look at the Notes tab. You can navigate to Notes by simply clicking on Notes at the top, or if you recall from the calendar. You can choose to select the circle here under Notes, or if you're under the status, you can save and jump to Notes here. You can search for a client, or simply select a client from the list. When you select a client from the list, you can choose to add a new note or select a note from a previous date of service. If the note here is not the note you're looking for, you can use the note template here and select from the list. The following sections need to be reviewed and verified: the patient's name, date of service, and the time. Under contact type, you need to be sure that it's listed as face-to-face. The contact person needs to be the relationship to the person, not a name. If you select yes under risk assessment, additional boxes will need to be reviewed. Any box with a red X, such as the procedure code, can be deleted and repopulated. For data, assessment, and plan, you can choose to view these in full screen. You can use the spell check function here, or you can choose to use the spell check function here. Under supplemental and optional information, you can add interventions and you can add symptoms. These options can be edited by the administrator. You can also add in the mood, thoughts, effect, and progress towards goals. Under diagnosis codes, if you know the code, you can enter it here, you can search for it by name, or you can choose to browse for the code. If you see a diagnosis code in blue, it means that it will continue to break down until you reach a code that's green. The codes written in green are the final diagnosis. Any information entered into the additional doctor's notes does not go out with the claim. Under practitioner signature, this box needs to be checked. This signature is digitally encrypted. Not selecting this and clicking save will cause this claim to not be processed. When you're done making these notes, click save. Next, we'll look at the Reports tab. Under Monthly Reports, after 1 month, reports will be generated and you will receive your login information for the share file. You may also select the metric you'd like a report for. Choose either one of the filters or set a custom date. Then click View. It will take a few minutes for this report to generate. Once the report has been generated, you can choose to print it. Next, we'll look at the Support tab. The only difference between this and normal email is the Right tab. Under the Right tab, there's a drop-down menu for the To. This will allow you to send an email to either a billing specialist or Paragon management. Type in your message and press Send. We strive for a 24-hour turnaround time on all emails. Next, we'll look at the Direct Mail tab. This tool is currently under construction. It will be used for provider-to-provider communication and will be HIPAA compliant. Next, we'll look at the Logs tab. The pending appointment log is the only place that a provider can change a scheduled note to completed. This log will take some time to populate. Before marking a note as completed, you need to check the date of service and the procedure code against the times to ensure that they're correct. You cannot make corrections on this page. You must go back to the current appointment screen if corrections need to be made. Next, we'll look at the Settings tab. When you log into the calendar for the first time, you'll need to go into Password and Security Settings and change your password. Fill out all of the information and click Save. New providers will also need to set up their business hours for each practitioner. When you've finished entering the hours, click Save. Under Audit Logs, you can set a date range that you'd like to audit. Click Filter, and then you can choose to export this to Excel. Under Manage Note Templates, an onboarding specialist will set up 7 notes along with a blank note so that the administrator can create notes. If an administrator makes changes to a note, it will be for everyone in that clinic. If a therapist makes changes to a note, it will be only for that therapist. Simply choose the template you wish to edit. You may then choose to add, delete, and move fields within the template. Under Appointment Reminders, the administrator will need to select Automated, choose the time of day they want the messages to go out, and enter in a reminder message no more than 250 characters long, and then click Save. When you receive a check in the mail, the EOB that accompanies the check needs to be faxed or mailed to the ADINA office. Similarly, if you receive a check from a patient, the receipt log needs to be completed and mailed or faxed to the ADINA office. To obtain your username and password, or if you have any questions regarding the calendar training, contact Beth James at bjames@paragonbilling.com.